Alex in 1 minute.
All right, I'm muting.
Start the slideshow, and then Brooke can start playing, and then we can just let people in.
Okay, that sounds good.
Does anyone else want to ask questions before we?
How does everything look on my end? Pretty good.
Well, you're gone.
Yep.
Okay.
You're visible, Kathy.
Yeah, there's no
Hold
you.
on 1 second.
Background.
All right, I just changed my
There you
screen.
are.
I was like, but
Here I
you're
am.
gone.
So far, that's so good, except for where did she go? Okay. All right, starts in 15 minutes. Looks like I'm just getting texts everywhere. Okay, that is what I have to do. Exit full screen. Okay, good, good.
Super duper. Okay. I guess everyone just text me if you need me, or send me a message in the chat.
And is we're all muted. We'll all be muted. Is that right? Until we get rock and roll.
I think that we need, once Brooke starts playing, then Alex will mute us all. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Brooke, whenever you are ready. Alex, whenever you are ready.
All right, and also just to confirm, Ellie, I'll go live on Facebook once Brooke starts.
You can, or you can wait until. I mean, yeah, why not? Sure.
Whatever's.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Hold on. Okay, we can? Okay. Okay. Brooke, you should be back now. Sorry about that, as I was trying to go live. It was just.
each other, honey, it'll be alright. Thanks for tuning in tonight. My name is Brooke Annibale, the musical guest for the evening, and I'm gonna play a couple songs. No, it's hard, 'cause I'm standing where you are. I can feel the pain. No, it will. We can't lay where we felt and expect the change. I see the light visible between you and I, and the question across. See it clearly as I hold tight to that feeling for this game of ours. 'Cause love is a battle to be fought, and all we wanna do is win. But I just can't be someone I just don't know where I'm supposed to begin. All we gotta do is put ourselves in each other's shoes, try to understand. No one is the same. There's no one you can blame. It's for being human. 'Cause love is a battle to be fought, and all we wanna do is win. I just can't be someone I just don't know where I'm supposed to begin. Yeah. Oh, 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 all we gotta do is put ourselves in each other's shoes, try to understand. Thanks to the Women's Fund of Rhode Island so much for inviting me to perform this evening. I'm gonna play you another song of my own. It's called Home Again.
Taking the train to city sunset, trying to find a way to say it. Something about time that we spent, trying to find a way to say it. I'm still trying to find a way to say it. If you
Thanks so much. Again, my name is Brooke Annibale, and thanks to Women's Fund of Rhode Island.
Hi, folks. It's Kathy McPherson. Welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to be here with you tonight. I'm your host and auctioneer for the evening. And thank you so much for adapting with us and showing up to this celebration of women's voices. If you haven't had a chance, please register. You can register to bid and to donate. And the links are on the screen and in the chat box. And we'll connect you if you're having any trouble with Karen or Nicole. Just reach out to them via chat and they will take good care of you. And don't forget to check out our silent auction items. There are over 20 items on the Bidding for Good page. And there are some amazing things that you want to check out. Now, be sure to check your email and phone because you will receive notification when you are outbid. So keep that handy. Now, please let us know where you are joining us from in the chat box. If you're a current or former board member, let us know. This event is a special reunion of sorts, so take a photo of yourself attending Women Leading Change and post it to social media, tagging at Women's Fund RI. We'd love to see your experience and share it with us. Now, you can download the program right now, and the link is in the chat. Well, it is hard to believe that the Women's Fund of Rhode Island has been supporting gender equity in Rhode Island for 19 years. Well, to tell us more about it, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Women's Fund of Rhode Island's Executive Director, Kelly Nevins.
All right, just 1 second. We're just working on getting Kelly unmuted. Oh, all right, Kelly. I think you're on.
Okay, I think we were both trying to unmute me. Sorry about that, everyone. Modern technology. So hi, everyone, and thank you all so much for joining our Women Leading Change celebration. For those of you who may be new to the Women's Fund of Rhode Island, our mission is to invest in women and girls through research, advocacy, grant making, and strategic partnerships designed to achieve gender equity through systemic change. For our donors and supporters, welcome back. Each of you has made the Women's Fund of Rhode Island what it is today. I'd like to take a moment to recognize our elected officials who are with us tonight, along with their staff, many of whom center women and people of color in the legislative work that they do. These folks include Nissa Villario from Senator Sheldon Whitehouse's office, Shan Kazult from Lieutenant Governor Dan McKee's office, and she's also a Women's Policy Institute alumni. Welcome back. Representative and volunteer Liana Kassar, Representative June Speakman, Representative Anastasia Williams, Representative Susan Donovan, the Mayor of Providence, Jorge Alorza, Providence City Council President Sabina Matos, and candidate for Senate Paul Roselli. Now, if I've missed anyone, please be sure to say hello in the chat. We want to be sure that people know that you have spent your time with us tonight. Last month, we celebrated the 100th anniversary of the ratification of the 19th Amendment. Though a monumental achievement, voting rights were not universal for everyone. African American, Asian, and Native American women were denied access to the vote and to fully claim American citizenship for many years. It wasn't until the Voting Rights Act of 1965 that women could exercise their rights to vote. And even today, efforts are underway to disenfranchise voters, making it harder for the people's voice to be heard through their votes. Voting rights and persistent racism are reasons that I'd like to acknowledge and honor the federally recognized Narragansett tribe and the Niantic, Wampanoag, and Nipmuc nations on whose traditional territories the Women's Fund of Rhode Island operates. The world has changed a lot in the past 9 months. COVID-19 has exacerbated the systemic inequalities facing women and girls in every country around the world and threatens to reverse any progress made for gender equity in recent years, resulting in the US in a she-session. Divisive political rhetoric instigates controversy, resulting in a failure to address real issues through superficial bickering and aggression. We cannot ignore that racism, gender discrimination, and violence are at the root of many problems in our world and in Rhode Island, and as proven most recently by the non-indictment of officers and the death of Breonna Taylor. Too often, stereotypes, biases, and racial oppression are embedded in our laws and public policies. Women of color suffer most from these inequities, and all women suffer as a result. Not only does this have a devastating impact on women's lives, but it also hurts families, communities, future generations, and our entire economy. As a change leader, the Women's Fund of Rhode Island recognizes that we still have much ground to cover. While we've come a long way even though we've come a long way, we have a long way to go before we achieve gender equity and social justice for all. We're committed to providing tools and direction to those who address social justice issues using a gender lens. Your generosity and love for all women's and girls' economic well-being in Rhode Island will help to make this possible. Because of your support, we've trained 900 women to negotiate better and fair salaries and benefits. We've taught 91 women to advocate for change through our Women's Policy Institute, and 100 women to run for office. 10 of those women ran for office this year alone. Because of your support, Rhode Island has paid family leave options, and we had them even before COVID struck earlier this year. Because of your support, hundreds of thousands of Rhode Island employees have workplace pregnancy protections and earned sick time. And because of your support, women continue to have protected access to reproductive health choices here in Rhode Island. I am so proud and impressed to see the incredible number of people who are here tonight. Your support has moved Rhode Island to a more gender equitable state with a positive impact on women and girls, men and boys. Tonight is a celebration of 19 years of improving lives. Tonight, we are here to raise money for programs like our Women's Policy Institute, keeping it free of charge for participants each year, and helping us to explore the opportunity to make it more intersectional moving forward if we have more funds, possibly by offering stipends or childcare reimbursement for participants who need it. Continuing our salary negotiation, candidate training, and women's financial empowerment workshops. Releasing our first Women's Wellbeing Index as an interactive web tool. Watch out for that, that's coming later this year, and it's very exciting. Addressing essential feminist and civic issues in our popular Cocktails and Conversation series. Giving back to the community through participatory grant making multi-year commitments to organizations like Sistafire, the SEIU Education and Support Fund, the Coalition for Reproductive Freedom, Sojourner House, the Rhode Island Coalition Against Domestic Violence, the Center for Women and Enterprise, and Rhode Island for Community and Justice. And last but not least, advocacy for things like increases to the minimum wage, which this year we're focusing on for health and childcare workers, increases to the Rhode Island Works benefit, helping to pass earlier this year the Rhode Island Parentage Act, stopping housing discrimination for renters using housing vouchers, and supporting safe and healthy access to our polls this election season. You each get to make the chance to make these programs a reality for women and girls. And I'm so excited about what tonight is going to bring. Thank you for being part of this beautiful celebration. And before we continue, I'd like to share a message from one of our grantees.
Hi, my name is Alessandra Castillo. I am the law enforcement advocate, previously the education coordinator at Sojourner House. Our mission statement at Sojourner House is to end domestic violence, sexual violence, as well as human trafficking, and also creating social change. How we do that is by educating our community, also supporting our community and supporting our clientele through one-on-one support and some resources that we are able to provide. With the Women's Fund grant, we were able to bring our Peer Advocacy Zone program called PASS to certain youth organizations in Providence, as well as middle schools and high schools in Providence. With the PASS program, we educated youth on these issues, as well as how they can prevent it, as also support their loved ones and being an advocate and being part of this movement in their community.
Hi, I'm Jazzy DeJesus, and I'm from the Youth in Action program. The peer advocacy program has changed my views and perspective on different types of abuse. I used to think that abusive relationships were two-dimensional and had quick fixes. People made it sound so easy when they made comments like, just leave the person that's abusing you. But I quickly learned that many survivors of domestic abuse don't tell anyone because they're afraid of the repercussions or don't know where to find help. They're usually isolated from their friends and family, leaving them to lean on their abuser. Because I learned so much from this program, I see how important it is to be an ally and supportive system to survivors of domestic violence. This program provided a good stepping stone for me to increase my awareness of domestic violence and related issues.
Thanks so much to Alexandra and Jazzy from Sojourner House for sharing that impact message. As many people know, we plan to host this event in person last April, and like many organizations, we had to pivot to a virtual event. Our sponsors stuck by us, and we are so appreciative of their support. I would like to recognize IGT and Robinson and Cole for their premier sponsorship of our fundraiser this evening. I'd also like to be sure to thank Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Rhode Island, SK Wealth Management, Residential Properties, the Rhode Island Office of Diversity, Equity, and Opportunity, Bank Rhode Island, and Holland Evangelista Kohlenberg LLP for serving as lead sponsors this year. And to all of our other sponsors, in-kind donors, volunteers, including our event chair, Jean-Claude Bateman, and behind-the-scenes tech gurus, Alex and Kevin from AWE, and Ellie Brown for putting this event together right from the get-go. We appreciate you and your flexibility, and all of you have helped to drive our mission forward. So next we're going to hear from our gender equity champion and keynote speaker, Mary-dith Tuitt. Mary serves on the executive committee of the National Association of Commissions for Women and is a commissioner for the Mass Commission on the Status of Women, as well as the commander at the Carter American Legion Post 16 and the Organization of African American Veterans. She's got a really great bio. If you want to learn more about her, please be sure to look in the program so you can learn about all the wonderful things that Mary-dith has been involved in. And Mary-dith, I turn this over to you.
I think, Mary-dith, we may also be unmuting and muting at the same time, so. 1 second. Okay.
There you go. Yes, thank you. You know, we always have technical difficulties during the virtual life that we're in. I want to send greetings to everyone that's attending this evening. I want to thank Women's Fund of Rhode Island for inviting me to speak Women Leading Change. What a beautiful night it is. No matter what the pandemic has done to us and how it has changed our lives, and it has prevented you from seeing me in action in person, but we'll do that another time. We're here celebrating Women's Fund of Rhode Island, and I want to thank my sisters. I want to thank all of our allies who are here celebrating their work that they do, improving the lives of women and girls in Rhode Island. I was just saying, and I say it all the time, but I said just a few days ago that borders and state lines should not hinder us from working together to be successful in our mission when it comes to women and girls across the nation. And these past few months have shown us that there's much more work to do. Even though we have just celebrated the centennial of suffrage, we still have work to do. Work for women, and especially for women of color. We say Black Lives Matter, we could say all lives matter, we could say blue lives matter. What I'm saying is we all matter, no matter who we are, what our career choices are, the pigmentation of our skin, we matter. And we are here because Women's Fund of Rhode Island matters. So let's talk facts. It's not about equality, it's about equity, and that's what I'm passionate about, equity. Just let me give you a definition. Equity, being on the same level, having equal treatment, being considered equivalent in terms of rights, benefits, obligations, opportunities as the person sitting next to you. So ladies and gentlemen, look at the screen next to you to your left, look at the screen next to you to your right. You know, equity is what I believe we as a group and Women's Fund of Rhode Island is focusing on. So a little bit, when I was little, and we immigrated to the US to live with our parents after 7 years of separation, my brothers and I. We were treated differently. We were called foreigners, we were called coconuts, and so much more. And being the only girl at the time, I had 3 brothers. My 4th brother came a little after we got here. You know, they always treated me as a girl, but they taught me how to be equivalent to them. So if I couldn't see over the fence, they would lift me up, or they would put me up on something so I can see over the fence like they did. So I didn't think I was different, because even though they reminded me I was a girl, you know, you're a girl, you know, that's how my brothers used to do it. They used to make sure that I knew to protect myself and look out for myself because I was a Black girl, you know, and they taught me a lot of things. They taught me how to change tire. They taught me how to work on a car. They taught me how to climb a tree, get the mango, do whatever, climb an apple tree, you know. And again, they kept reminding me I was a girl. But there were times that I thought I could do what they did a little better than they did, but we won't tell them that. I hope they're not logged in watching this event tonight, because I'll be in trouble, you know. And then I learned something else, that I was able to go out and be who I wanted to be. So after high school, I joined the United States Navy, went into the military, became a jet mechanic. And as I got assigned to my station, my colleagues would ask me, why did I choose aviation machinist mate instead of just being a clerk, which is like a secretary? I said, because I want to be a mechanic. I like working with my hands. Simply, I just wanted to do that, so I did it. But no matter my training and my experience, I was still not equal to my male counterparts in their eyes, and most definitely not given the chance to shine like they were. So again, I was foreign born, I was a woman, you know, I was a girl, you know, but I always tried to achieve. In my shop, there were 3 women, myself and 2 other women who were of white complexion. And my 2 comrades got a little carry cart to carry their toolboxes on. I had to carry my toolbox the normal way, but that's all right. And I got all the dirty jobs, but that's all right, because I used all of that to get more responsibility and do a little bit more in the shop. But when I came home, I was just, you know, another normal girl in the community, even though I was still in the military doing reserve time and so on. I got involved in my community. I got involved in my kids' schools, volunteering, doing as much as I can, because I believed giving back into my community. And then one day my life changed. I got a job working for a state representative here in Boston. And this position gave me the ability to be more civically involved in my community and communities around the state. When I got to Beacon Hill, I noticed that women were outnumbered in the building, and minorities were we in the building. We were way in the minority. But despite doing the same work, we had to work harder to accomplish things for our bosses. And then, you know, it was hard because I was a Black woman working for a Black woman. Even though she was the dean of women, she had served longer than all the other women in the house. She was a Black woman out of Roxbury, and had to work a little harder. So ladies, let me tell you, and gentlemen, I made less than $35,000 a year as chief of staff for this legislator. And I was told that the reason my pay was so low was because I didn't have a college degree. I worked my way up. My boss needed to advocate more for my pay raise. And she would say to me, Mary, why should I have to advocate? Why can't we just send in a letter asking for a pay raise? After 12-something years in the building and saying there are college kids making almost close to $50,000. There are others in the building doing the same work that I do for close to $50,000. Why am I still 35 and under? But that's all right. I loved what I did. And I was the go-to person that a lot of the other staffers would come to when they were stuck on an issue, because I had been in the building so long. I kind of knew a lot of the ins and outs. Then I got appointed to the Massachusetts Commission on the Status of Women. And I saw this as being an opportunity to do more for women and girls. And I ran for office. And when I ran for office, it's sad to say I was told I was too Caribbean, too bold, too outspoken, too old school, not of the new generation. My story didn't pull heartstrings enough. I wasn't a team player enough. So I consider myself to be living proof that this is a man's world and a white woman's paradise. But I love what I do when it comes to women and girls and improving the lives across the nation. It has guided me. Civic engagement has pushed me. I have used my knowledge and my skills, my values, my, just that motivation to make a difference. And that's where my hashtag positive impact comes from. Everything I do, I hashtag it positive impact. I truly believe that you should impact everybody that you come into contact with daily to be able to be successful in your mission. And this has led me to being elected to the board for the National Association Commission for Women. We usually meet annually every year at a big conference, and we have commissions that are in the membership from East Coast all the way to Hawaii. And we are working effectively and collaboratively to improve the lives of women and girls across the nation, just like the Women's Fund of Rhode Island. And another part that I'm working with, and I can't wait till this pandemic is over so we can get back involved with, is helping Women's Fund of Rhode Island reinvigorate the Women's Commission in Rhode Island, which has been inactive for a few years. So ladies, get ready, because we're gonna work down there. We're gonna get it done. So when I speak about gender equity, I talk about women of all races, ethnicities, ages, and pronouns. We need to work together to accomplish this. And that is why organizations like Women's Fund of Rhode Island need our financial help and our civic engagement. I heard a statement that always stays with me. If gender equality is the end, gender equity is the means. So please join me in reaching into your hearts and thinking about what your gender story might be. How does it make you feel? Do you want to become more involved in helping women run for office or even running for yourself? Do you want to see the wage gap close between women and men, especially women of color? Join me in supporting the Women's Fund of Rhode Island tonight, because they are making these important actions happen in the state of Rhode Island. Thank you. Thank you again, Women's Fund of Rhode Island, for inviting me to be your gender equity champion speaker and for having me here tonight. And to all of you for lending me your ear. But please give the auction and everything else and your time to Women's Fund of Rhode Island whenever you can. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mary-dith, for those inspiring words. Let's have a round of applause. Everybody at home, applause, applause. That was incredible. Did you know that less than 2% of the United States philanthropic funds go to organizations fighting for equal rights for women and girls? And that less than 0.5% of giving from foundations go to women and girls of color. This work is chronically under-resourced, and that's what tonight is all about. Now, we'd like to share with you some of the ways that the Women's Fund of Rhode Island has had an enormous impact. Let's hear from Tanya Harris, Executive Director from the Rhode Island Coalition Against Domestic Violence.
Hello, my name is Tanya Harris, and I am the Executive Director of the Rhode Island Coalition Against Domestic Violence. We are a statewide coalition dedicated to ending domestic violence and ensuring justice for survivors and their families. While advocating for justice for those experiencing abuse, we strive to foster justice within our own organization. With support from the Women's Fund of Rhode Island, the RICA-DV will implement the Advocates of Color Leadership Development to Advance Economic Justice Initiative. People of color, and particularly women of color, are underrepresented in leadership roles within many spaces, including the movement to end domestic violence. Through this new program, we will provide advocates of color with opportunities to grow and tools that will strengthen their leadership. Maya Angelou once wrote, "We all should know that diversity makes for a rich tapestry, and we must understand that all the threads of the tapestry are equal in value, no matter what their color." With these words in mind, we envision a world where the movement against domestic violence is led by people who reflect the cultural experiences and values of the communities they serve.
Thank you so much, Tanya, for sharing that impact story. I think it's jazz hands is what we're doing for the applause. So jazz hands for Tanya. Now let's hear from Lauren Adrian and why he supports the Women's Fund of Rhode Island.
My name is Lauren Adrian. I'm one of 8 children. I have 5 younger sisters. I'm just thankful that they're all younger so that my 2 brothers and I had a chance. Our sisters were all so smart and so capable. And I think they got that from our mom, who was the chief operating officer of our family. I've been very involved in community activities, chairing the State Board of Higher Education and URI Foundation, running for mayor. And in many, many of my community efforts, I've hired women to take the lead. What I have found more often than not is that a spectacular job has been done. Gender equity allows both of us, both genders, to learn more when we work together, and I think reach better decisions, reach more thoughtful and sensitive decisions that are more responsive to the realities and the conditions on the ground. I think it's about practice, and so males need to understand that there are differences and opportunities. I think we need to not assume that things are fair. I think we have to be actively pursuing women's perspective, and it allows all of us to reach higher levels of confidence and comfort in choosing women for leadership roles where their particular perspective might be a better fit. The more we do of that, the more we learn. So to me, it's about learning, and then it's about encouraging myself and others to be mindful of those differences and the benefits of having all of those different perspectives have a voice. I feel so blessed, so lucky to have been surrounded for decades with so many good people, men and women. Very simple thing all men can do is support the Women's Fund, because this fund works to advance the mission of gender equality.
Thanks so much, Lauren, and we are so happy to have you as a supporter. And lastly, we'll hear from Women's Policy Institute recent graduate, Anita Bruno. Let's take a listen.
My name is Anita Bruno. I'm 46-year-old female in Local 330 Carpenters Union. I've been in the Carpenters Union for about 14 years now. Besides for Local 330, I went to a Sisters in the Brotherhood conference, which is the international female carpenters. They've organized themselves for about 20 years now. I sat there and listened to women from around the world share stories that were similar to mine, and they broke my heart. We have 26 women, 4 were retired, and out of that, about 10 were consistently engaged. Listening to fellow women's issues is what led me to organize Rhode Island Women in the Trades. I met Nellie Gorbea at one of my union meetings. She was very supportive and very happy that someone was actually trying to organize women in the trades and speaking up for women in the trades and wanting to see more women in the trades. Oh, if you believe in God, it was God sent, right? Because everything was just right on time. Nellie introduces me to Kelly. She told me about the Women's Policy Institute. I'm like, this is what I need. These are the tools for my toolbox of advocacy work. Because here I am, I'm talking to everybody. I'm going to all these meetings. I'm asking everybody to talk to me. They are supportive. They are listening. They're engaged in the conversations. I love everything that I learned in there. It all has to do with policy change. But even if it was about something personal, they still helped me and still accommodated my questions and still gave me answers and resources on where I could find answers or where I can build upon what we were talking about. It was very fun to be around a bunch of empowered women with the same ideals and ideas as you, and then sharing all those thoughts to actually come to one concrete plan, seeing the fruition of Rhode Island Rent, and then also watching the fruition of our group's gender equity movement and what it became and where it's going, and the fact that even after graduation, we are all still working together and connected in some kind of way is amazing. I want everybody to remember that this is a free program, Women's Policy Institute. It is put on by Women's Fund of Rhode Island. They are a nonprofit organization, so nothing that they do comes free. It's all on donations. So if you want to donate, go to WFRI.org and donate. They need your help. They need help to keep these programs running. They need help to keep things free and accessible, to empower women, to empower other women, to lead, to show that it's okay to lead in these times of Black and Brown and Indigenous and Hispanic lives, and the value that they play. Anywhere decisions are made, women should be at the table, and it should be diverse women, a diverse array. I love the fact that Women's Fund Board of Directors is diverse. They want you there, they need you there, they encourage you to join. You might have to just reach out to them.
Thanks so much, Anita. All right, jazz hands for Anita. And yes, someone in the chat I saw wrote that she rocks, and she rocks. The Women's Fund of Rhode Island has had some extraordinary impact, and that is just the tip of the iceberg. One workshop attendee had this to say: "The salary negotiation workshop for me was invaluable. I learned not only how to advocate for myself and utilize these skills when I got my first job, but the workshop helped me recognize my value and what I could bring to the organization. It ultimately gave me a lot of confidence and useful language when negotiating my salary and benefits." That was from Daniela Habib of Providence. Well, tonight, you at home, you watching at home on all of your devices, you will have the opportunity to continue to make an immediate impact on women and girls in Rhode Island. Tonight, you are funding the future. Did you know over the course of a lifetime, white women lose more than $451,000 compared to their white male counterparts? Asian women lose over $607,000. Black women lose over $997,000. And lastly, Latina women lose more than $1.2 million. The Women's Fund of Rhode Island's advocacy works to level the playing field for women, and particularly women of color, to eliminate these gaps. Tonight, your generous gifts will help fund a future. Now, there are two ways to give to fund a future. You can place a bid on the auction page by clicking Fund a Future at your desired level and buy it now. Or you can go to the auction homepage and select a donation level of your choosing. Now, tonight we have 5 levels of giving. We start at the highest level, which is $5,000, and we move through our final level of $85. Now, if there is an amount that is meaningful to you, $10, $5, $10,000, $1 million, you never know. Someone could have won the lottery out there last night. You just never know. But any amount will make a difference and will help us reach our goal. You can give at any time throughout the night at any level. And the Fund a Future will be open through tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. So if you have friends or family who couldn't join us today, please send them the link to help fund the future, and they can do it through tomorrow at 9 p.m. So are you ready? Because here we go. We are going to start the Fund the Future at our $5,000 level, which is advocacy support. Now, when you give us $5,000 tonight, you are providing 100 hours of grassroots organizing and advocacy around women's economic justice issues. I don't know if you know this, but the Women's Fund of Rhode Island helped to pass the Temporary Caregiver Insurance Act in Rhode Island, making Rhode Island one of the few states to have paid family leave before COVID-19 even showed up. And we still need to work to increase pay level benefits to ensure that low-income workers can access it, especially after the temporary national benefits for this time period. Your $5,000 is going to help us get there tonight. You know, in 2020, we helped remove the tampon tax, which impacted over 400,000 women in our state. That's what the money does. The sales tax on these items don't amount to much, says Bridget Kelly of NPR News. But when you're trying to figure out if you can give your kid milk money or even have enough to get your lunch, then it is impactful in a significant way. So tonight you can help us do that at $5,000. You know, even with these accomplishments, we still have a long way to go before we achieve gender equity. Your gift of $5,000 will provide advocacy support to permanently increase the minimum wage for essential workers, to pay for basic needs, to create safer health systems for women of color, to ensure that women are paid fairly and ensure budget support for childcare. So who can find it to gift us $5,000 this evening? Who out there can do it? Please get in there right now. Click on that amount. Right now, we have a thank you to go out to Judy Mann, a fantastic donor at $5,000. Thank you, Judy. And Sarah Richardson, a founding donor. She's in at $5,000. Can you do that tonight? Can anyone at home watching now get in here at $5,000 as a gift to really help move this needle? Any other at this point at $5,000, and we'll move to our next level at $2,500. Now remember, at any time tonight, you can donate and give a gift of any level at any time through 9 p.m. So please do that tonight at any level. When it moves you, please, please do. Now at $2,500 at our next level, that's a Women's Policy Institute Fellowship. Your gift tonight of $2,500 provides a fellowship for one woman to attend the Women's Policy Institute. Now, we know women need to have their voices heard, and especially when policies are being considered and enacted in our community. The WPI trains women to understand how that policy is created. Your $2,500 will help us get one person fully funded to go. Their understanding of how policy is created, legislated, and enacted, and it is allowing them to use their voices throughout our community. Our Women's Policy Institute class of 2019 helped to pass a bill in the Senate outlawing discrimination against sources of income for housing. This is huge. So let's jazz hands for the Women's Policy Institute. That was an incredible achievement. You know, the famous adage, if you aren't at the table, you are likely to be on the menu, is a deft description of why more women must become involved in policy making and influencing. So is there another gift out there at $2,500? Is there another gift out there at $2,500? We are looking for $2,500 and $2,500, or a number that's meaningful to you, by the way. If $1,335 is a meaningful number to you, please donate it right now. If you've had enough of 2020 and want to move to 2021, and that's your number, $2,021, give that tonight. All of the gifts will help move us in the right direction for equity for women in Rhode Island. Now let's move to our $1,000 amount. Now our $1,000 supports 15 hours of research on the status of women and girls. The Women's Fund of Rhode Island uses credible, evidence-based research on issues facing women and girls in Rhode Island to inform our community. A $1,000 gift from you tonight will support the Women's Fund of Rhode Island most audacious research project yet, and Kelly made mention of it earlier tonight. Your gifts tonight will help create a women's well-being index, which identifies the health, personal safety, economic security, and political empowerment of women throughout Rhode Island. The index will allow users to look at the status of women in each county and town. It is the first of its kind in Rhode Island. $1,000 will help us get there. The index will be an open source and compile data from all of the data that has been previously and has not been easily accessible. So who's with us now at $1,000? Who can come in at $1,000? We have board members Joanne Daly at $1,000. Joanne Daly. And Jean Bateman is our lead gift at $1,000. Thank you so much. And Arlene Violet also donated at this level. Fantastic. I thought I saw someone in chat at $1,500. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Keep those donations coming in. $5, $10, $35. It all means something and it all makes a difference. Every single dollar matters. Every single one. All right, let's move to $500 now. All workers are essential workers. COVID-19 has certainly shown us very clearly that all workers are essential and deserving of a living wage. The pandemic has also shown us that women of color are more severely affected financially than their white counterparts. So what can we do to change this? Well, we're working to raise the minimum wage to at least $15 an hour, especially for essential child and elder care workers. So will you come in at $500 to help us get there? Thank you, board member Bev Wiley and Christina Castle at $500. They've committed at a gift at $500. Will you give a gift at $500? Who is out there tonight at $500? I see Sue Shade is in at $500. You know, I'm in at $500. I am jumping in at $500. Ellie, count me in at $500 tonight. I am right there with you. $500. And Rhonda Kirby at $2,600 was that? $2,500 was that? Thank you, Rhonda, $2,500. We are moving that needle. Thank you so much. I see someone, Mary Ellen Butke, I think is in at $500. I'm seeing in the chat. Thank you so much, Mary Ellen. Keep those dollars coming. Keep them coming in. Now, again, every level is available, every level tonight. At any time, you go grab a bite to eat, come back, grab a drink out of the fridge, come back, hit that donate button because we need every single dollar tonight. All right, how about the $250 level now is salary negotiation workshop. We just heard how great that was. Your gift tonight of $250 will fund staff time for two-hour salary negotiation skills workshops. We heard from Daniela earlier about the difference this made for her and her life. It empowered her. It gave her the skills and the strength and the confidence to go negotiate for a living and fair wage when she went to her employer. This is significant. A $200 gift will also train college women in the Start Smart and Professional Women in Work Smart classes. This will make a difference in everyone's lives who participates in this workshop because they'll have the confidence to ask for what they deserve. $250. Where's $250 tonight? Please feel free to just jump in there, press that button, $250. We'd love to have you in. You know, women who negotiate earn higher salaries and better benefits packages. And by negotiating fair and equitable wages, those who attend our workshops can better pay off loans, buy things they want and need for their family, and even save for retirement. So who's in at $250? I see Diane Crosby, Kelly Kincaid, Dia Das, all in at $250. Board members who deeply care about our work. And let's see, who else is in here? Sue Killenberg. And who is in Sue Killenberg at $250? What was that at $200? I think I saw Catherine Barr at $200. Thank you, Catherine. A number meaningful to her. That is fantastic. Be creative. If $89.36 meant something to you one year, donate that. We will take every dollar. It means the world to us. All right, $85 now to $100. This is research outreach. Now, many of you started at this level with your ticket, and we thank you so very much for that. We thank you so very much. Now, the cost to annual mail research, so research is important, but we have to be able to get it out. So it does cost us to mail that research. So please, Any dollar amount at $85 or $100 or $35 or $25 will help us get that information out to where it needs to be. And it isn't helpful, as we know, if we have the research, but we can't get it out there. We want to be sure that we can. And the Women Fund of Rhode Island sends out our research each year. Whoa, someone's in at 100. I see Ann Langdon Days at 250. I'm trying to catch up with this on the chat. Thank you so much, Ann. And we are really moving along. This is wonderful. Remember, we need to get this research out every year so people and community leaders, the General Assembly, and other nonprofit organizations know what we are doing. You know, our own Secretary of State, Nellie Gorbea, has shared that Women's Fund of Rhode Island research initially motivated her to run for office. Well, maybe there's someone out there, when they see this research, they'll be motivated to run for office. And many have used our research site as information for public policy debates, academic use. Please, if there's a dollar amount that's meaningful to you, let us know. Put it right. Sandra Victorino at $150. That's $100 and $150 more than what we had just a minute ago. Keep them coming. This is exciting. Again, this will be open for some time, so please keep those dollar amounts coming in for the fund, the future. I see, really, is it Adiabe at $100? Well, this is fantastic. Keep them coming. All right, and we've got some more in at $100. These are coming in live, so thank you so much for that. If I've missed you, please donate another $10 and I'll catch you twice, so it never hurts to keep coming in on those donations. Well, now we are going to move on. We do have some live auction items tonight, because what would an event like this be without some live auction items? Now, the live auction items will close, the bidding will close at the end of tonight's event. So keep that in mind. The bidding for the live auctions will close tonight at the end of this event. So our first item up is over my shoulder here. This is Tuscany. Who wouldn't want to go to Tuscany? Right now, we all want to escape. Well, this escape is for two couples, and we are dying to get away, aren't we? We just want to be able to be safe when we do it. In this instance, there is no expiration date on this stay in beautiful Tuscany. Two couples can enjoy a 7-day vacation at one of the many Italian properties located in the ancient town of Monciano, and it is known for their Sienese-style fortress. You have homes to choose from. Most will feature 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, shower, kitchen, all the amenities. It is just about a Tuscan dream, and wouldn't it be lovely for you to be able to go do that? Again, no restrictions on the dates. It's incredible. The houses are easy, 1-hour car ride from Rome, close to Siena, close to Florence. The trips are scheduled either Saturday to Saturday, Thursday to Thursday, Friday to Friday, depending on the unit you select. No expiration date here, and I'll say that you can't go wrong when you go to Tuscany. It is stunning and beautiful. Under the Tuscan Sun was filmed there. It is a beautiful region to visit, and the wine is extraordinary. We're going to open up the bidding here at $2,500. $2,500 gets in the Tuscany trip. $2,500 gets us started. The value here is over $4,500, so this is a steal. Keep those bids coming at $2,500. That's our opening bid. I don't know if we have anybody right now opening this up, but we would love to have you opening it at $2,500. $2,500. We'd love to have you come in. If you want to go to Tuscany, $2,500. It is right there. Just click bid now. You've got it. $2,500 starts us off to go to Tuscany. I don't know. I may even think about it, because we are all longing to get out and travel when it's safe. Well, hopefully Europe will open to us soon, but we really are looking to raise the money that we need for the Women's Fund of Rhode Island this evening to continue to support equity and gender equity, and moving this needle that is really something that is great and incredible work that we're doing. So continue to bid, continue to donate. The opening bid here is $2,500. As soon as I get somebody in at $2,500, I'll let you know. The next bid after that is $2,600. It'll be a $100 increment on that. $2,600 will be our second bid. $2,500 we need to open it up. Let's keep it going. We're going to move now to our second item. And our second item, again, you can keep bidding. So let's keep it going. We have a video, actually. Let's go back to that. Let's share the video on Tuscany, so maybe that'll inspire you to go. Here it is. Okay, I think that should do it right there. I love that video. It looks stunning. The beaches, the spas, the wine, the cheese, the sailing, 2,500 gets it going. So get in to bid for Tuscany. All right, let's move on to our board selected wine set. So here we are with our board selected wine. This is a $420 value of board selected wine. Many of the wines in this collection are women-owned wineries. They're also very environmentally sensitive. You've got a great collection. This is a perfect start for a wine collection or to add to your existing collection. So we'd love to open this up at $200. Let's get a new bid in here for $200. We'd love to get this in at $200. And we've got a bid in. We're at $325. Sarah Deliris, thank you, Sarah. Thanks so much for bidding on this item. $325. Our next dollar amount, our next level is $350 to get this wine collection in your wine cellar. $350 is the next bid. Thank you, Sarah, for $325. We appreciate it so very much. You have a lot of wines that are here. Kelly Fox wines, women-owned. You've got McMurray Estates in Sonoma, delicious. The Mount Veeder Winery, can't go wrong with that Cabernet 2016, delicious. You've got, of course, Maomi Pinot Noir. This is a popular Pinot Noir, delicious wine there. I love this one from Michael David Winery, The Freak Show, Cabernet Sauvignon. Probably great with a steak, so give that one a go. You get this wine collection, and you're going to create some lovely meals around it. So $325 is in, $350 we want. We'd love to get $350 in for this next one and circle back on Tuscany at $2,500. Remember, you want to go to Tuscany because you'll want to sit next to those beautiful beaches, sip some delicious wine, and just gaze out onto the incredible water that you'll see. $2,500 gets us started on Tuscany. All right, and now we're at $400 on the wine, and $400 in that. The bidder on $400 is, who is that bidder? Luann Edwards. Luann, thank you so much at $400. It's a battle now. Sarah at $325. We get $400 now with Luann. Sarah, jump back in at $425. You will get that collection of spectacular wines. All right, we're going to take a brief break from the live auction action and present our first Gender Equity Award. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Women's Fund of Rhode Island Board President Bev Wiley to give out this year's Leadership and Advocacy Awards. Please welcome Bev.
Thanks, Kathy.
There you are.
There she is.
Thank you, Kathy. And on behalf of the board and staff of the Women's Fund of Rhode Island, I also want to thank all of you for being here for our Women Leading Change celebration. As a part of our mission to accomplish gender equity, tonight we recognize two women doing this vital work in their respective fields. Our first awardee is Arlene Violet. The Women's Fund of Rhode Island Leadership Award is for a person who has made outstanding contributions towards the advancement of gender equity. demonstrated by leadership through community service. She generously volunteers personal time and talent to help make Rhode Island a state free of gender bias. We would like to show our gratitude to Arlene Violet with this year's Leadership Award. Her bio is impressive: a Sisters of Mercy nun, the nation's first woman attorney general, a radio personality, and a gender equity champion. A true inspiration and role model for all women. Arlene, please share a few words with us.
Thank you. So, she was asked, what should be your legacy? To make life a bit better for people less fortunate than I am, because I think that's what a meaningful life is. One lives not just for oneself, but for the community. Thus spoke one of my heroines, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And she had other quotes, which I'd like to share with you, because they encapsulize why she inspires me. When asked, when will we know success by enough women on the US Supreme Court? Without hesitating, she answered, 9. For generations, 9 men were on that court and nobody thought anything about it. Speaking to a group of naturalized citizens, Ruth said, we are a nation made stronger by people exactly like you. And the state controlling a woman would mean denying her full authority and full equality. Also, don't be distracted by emotions like anger, envy, or resentment. These zap your energy and waste time. And just one more Ruth quote. I ask for nothing for my sisters. All I ask of our brethren is that they take their feet off our necks. Take your feet off our necks. Does that sound familiar? Far too many of our Black brothers and sisters, Latinos, Native Americans, and other minorities, whether by nationality or sexual or gender preferences, they can't breathe. And we must fight alongside them to stop that oppression. We cannot have one system of justice for whites and then another for everyone else. Without equal justice, Black men's lives don't matter, and Black women's lives matter even less. WFRI has been fighting for equity and leading the charge, and that's why tonight it's an honor for me to receive this award. From an organization whose sine qua non for existence is equity, justice, and equality. And I pledge, in accepting this honor from you, it's going to remind me every time I look at it to fight alongside with you. So like RBJ, let's each of us continue to be a badass, as she was once called, to repair the tears in our society and remove the artificial barriers that keep people from realizing their true potential. Thank you.
Kathy, I'm just trying to unmute you. I don't know if you're also.
Okay, I think we're good. All right, I love it, Arlene. Thank you so much. And congratulations on your award. There are the jazz hands and claps for you. And of course, your dedication to justice and equity has shown through the years. Your resume is incredible. I think RBG would be proud, and you are an inspiration to women everywhere. So thank you for those words. Thank you for your passion, and thank you for your dedication to the Women's Fund of Rhode Island. All right, now we're back to live auction for 2 more spectacular items. And I believe we're right now pushing close to the $27,000 tonight. I think we're close to $27,000 tonight. I think that's where we're at. All right, here we go. This is Gracie's PVD, a much beloved restaurant in Providence, owned by Ellen Slattery. She is offering a sommelier virtual wine class. It includes wine and cheese plates to go with them. She'll donate the wine, host the virtual wine tasting and conversations with two of the sommeliers, Elizabeth and John, for your guests via Zoom in your homes. This package will include hand-delivered wine to your guest's home, link to the wine tasting. Now, you can choose where you want to travel for your wine. Travel the world with wine. You can always go everywhere in the world with wine, whether it's old world and you want to go to the Bordeaux region, or you're going to Burgundy, or you want to stay on the west coast of California, stay New World, maybe Australia, New Zealand, wherever you want to go. They will select the wines for you, pair the cheese with those wines, and you will be off and running with a greater depth of knowledge and an incredible experience. This is limited to Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts, so we can drop it off to you. The package is worth $900, and the bidding here starts at $300. This is a steal, a steal. Keep bids coming in. $300. This is an incredible package. It really is an incredible package. $300 starts us off. Then Kim Lee's in at $300. Way to go, Kim. And the next dollar we want is $350. So $350 is the next bid up. Kim's in at $300. We're looking for $350. So get those buttons pressed. $350 get you this travel the world with sommeliers. They'll answer all your questions and take you on a tour of incredible wine. So keep those bids coming. We have Kim Lee in at $300. We're looking for $350. So get those bids in here. We'd love to have them in. All right, now our final live auction item is the trip to Mexico, enchanting Mexico stay in a resort. Mexico, beautiful. You'll immerse yourself in the natural wonders of Mexico, the soaring cliffs, the charming people, food, of course, tequila, parties along the playa in Mexico. Regardless of the destination you choose, you'll stay in a 4- or 5-star luxury hotel with all the amenities, and you'll have spas, golf. There's a Jack Nicklaus designed golf course nearby, pristine pools, another getaway. This will be incredible. It's a trip for 2, 5 days, 4 nights, accommodations at a 4- or 5-star resort, world-class spas. There's Cirque du Soleil. You'll be able to go see that show. I'm certainly partial to the Jack Nicklaus golf course experience. That would be terrific. It's a standard package, is 2 guests. Travel is for 18 months past the date of issue. The value here is $1,500. Bidding starts at $900, and the bid increments here are $100. So $900 gets us off and running. $900 gets you to Mexico. You're going to enjoy this beautiful trip, 4- or 5-star resort, beautiful world-class spas. Let's go at $900. $900 gets us started. Who's $900 at the bid? Just press on that button. Let's bid it up at $900. Then you're in again at $1,000. Like, we're really looking for this trip. It'll be fantastic, and you'll enjoy getting away and relaxing by the beach or playing a beautiful round of golf at a Nicklaus course. Who could ask for more? It is an extraordinary package. So keep those bids coming in. And remember, the live auction items are closing this evening. The live items are closing this evening, so be sure you get those bids in. They're going to close at the end of this program. All right. Now, we would like to give out our second Gender Equity Award. Here again is Bev Wiley, Women Fund of Rhode Island's board president, to give the introduction.
Thanks again, Kathy. Susan Farmer became Rhode Island's first female statewide office holder when she was selected Secretary of State in 1983. The Advocacy Award that bears her name recognizes her legacy of public policy and advocacy to advance women's participation, representation, and leadership in government and public policy. The Women's Fund of Rhode Island selects honorees for their efforts on behalf of Rhode Island women. Former honorees include former Governor Lincoln Chafee, former Senate President Teresa Paiva Weed, and Anna Cano Morales. We would like to show our gratitude to Vanessa Volz, the Executive Director of the Sojourner House. We think their work is so essential, we awarded them a grant to run their Abuse and Harassment Education Prevention Program for students in 2019. And this year we awarded them a 2-year grant. I'm honored to present Vanessa with the Susan Farmer Advocacy Award. And Vanessa has a few words for us.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. It's so great to be here. Even though we are having this event virtually, I wish I could see you all in person, but it's great to be here. Thank you, Bev. Thank you to the Board of Directors. Thank you so much to the Women's Fund of Rhode Island. I am really honored to receive this award. And as you all know, it has been a process to get to this point tonight. We were originally going to have this event in the spring. And when Ellie called me to tell me that I was going to be presented with this advocacy award, it really got me thinking about what advocacy means to me. And it got me thinking a little bit about how I became an advocate. And many of you know that I have done a lot of work with Sojourner House over the last years, and I was previously an attorney, and I did a lot of activism work when I was a law student. But I've actually been thinking a lot, because of this award, of work that I did when I was a senior in high school. When I was a senior in high school, I was editor-in-chief of my high school paper. And I literally started my senior year of high school in the principal's office. I was working on a story, trying to uncover some security issues going on that had resulted in a break-in, and the principal had called me in because high school students don't have a right to free press, and so anything that was published had to be approved by him. So I wound up in his office on the first day of high school, and he said, absolutely not, this story wasn't going to run, and I, of course, really wanted the story to run. And that's how I started my first year of, the beginning of my senior year of high school, and that's pretty much how I spent most of that senior year, in and out of the principal's office, because there were so many issues that I wanted to write about, that I wanted our reporters to write about, and the administration didn't always see eye to eye with me. So I learned a really valuable lesson, that you can't give up when you're advocating, that you're sometimes going to upset people when you're advocating. And a really valuable lesson I didn't even learn until years later is that a lot of times you will do really hard work that will never be recognized, or may never be recognized until years later. And I've been thinking a lot about that in light of the fact that it's the anniversary of the suffrage movement, and how we had won the right to vote, and how many suffragists worked towards that and never saw that realized. And I had a similar story, having worked on this high school paper, really trying to improve the news section of this newspaper. And I graduated and went on to college. And 2 years later, the principal of my former high school called me, and I remember joking, saying, I'm not in trouble, am I? I'm 1,000 miles away. But lo and behold, the newspaper that year had won one of the best news departments in a statewide competition. And he called me because he thought that I really want to know that the work that I had done earlier on had really set the stage for the news page at my paper. And so just thinking back over all the advocacy I've done over the years, I really think that's when I started working as an advocate. And I think I learned some valuable lessons at that time that I've carried with me through the years, through my work here in Rhode Island and in other places. And so again, I am so honored to receive this award. I love working with the Women's Fund. I've had the opportunity to get to know Kelly and Ellie and many of the members of the board of directors. And I accept this award tonight very gratefully, but also on behalf of so many women who work so hard and don't necessarily get the recognition or the note are noted for the work that they do. We all are working really hard, and oftentimes social change is slow to come, but we have to persevere and keep going. And so again, thank you very much. So happy to be here tonight.
So thank you, Arlene and Vanessa. And you know, Vanessa makes a really great point that she was inspired to become an advocate at an early age. You know, tonight's program, we have an internal stretch dream goal of raising $250,000. And one of the things that is on our dream list is to be able to start a similar program to the Women's Policy Institute, but that is directed at a younger demographic. So high school and college students. Just putting it out there, you know, if we've got people who can help us to raise more money, these are the types of things that we can do going forward. Vanessa and Arlene, thank you for all the work that you have done and continue to do on behalf of Rhode Island. Now I'd like to share a personal anecdote. My mom, Linda, is the reason that I care about this work. She raised me as a single working mother, and I saw the real life implications of women's economic insecurity growing up. I was a child in the 70s and 80s before laws compelled fathers to pay for child support. I watched as my mom struggled to pay bills for 3 daughters on her meager salary. Like many single moms, she lost her job several times due to having one or more of us homesick without affordable health care, childcare being nearby. In fact, we lost our home when I was in high school. Despite the challenges, I became the first person in my family to go to college with her love and support. She has always been my cheerleader. My mom is online with us tonight. Mom, I just want to thank you for inspiring me to make a difference in the lives of women and girls in our world, and I love you. I know many of you also have strong, important women who've supported and inspired you throughout your life. We'd love to see you post a story about one of them in the chat tonight. I'd also like to take this moment to honor the late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Ginsburg for her legacy of litigating for protecting the rights of women, LGBTQ+ people, immigrants, and people of color. She was a relentless fighter at a time when many of her goals seemed unreachable. Let's take a moment of silence in her honor. Thank you to those of you who are posting stories about your sheroes in the chat box. It's always humbling to see so many great role models. And Kathy, I'll turn this back to you.
Kelly, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And thank you for sharing your story, and just wonderful that your mom was on tonight to listen, and just the level of care and appreciation that you shared is touching. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for sharing that. You know, your call to action tonight really is threefold. You want to make sure that you are registered to vote, and that you have a plan to vote safely, and that your friends are also registered to vote. Then get out and vote on November 3rd. Vote in person at City Hall starting October 14th, or vote by mail before October 22nd. Whichever you choose, make sure you have a plan. Tell your friends about the Women's Fund of Rhode Island. And if what you saw and heard tonight was meaningful to you, get involved with us. Join our workshops, a panel discussion, volunteer. Consider becoming a monthly donor. Now, remember, if there is a level on the Fund the Future that I didn't mention, please, please, please donate tonight. You can do it through tomorrow at 9 p.m. to do that. The silent auction is also open until 9 p.m. So please help us get to our stretch goal and our super dream goal. It's $250,000. It is. We're probably over $28,000 or $9,000 or $30,000 tonight. Hard to know. We'll have some tallies very, very shortly. But please help us get there. And the fact that you were here tonight is extraordinary. Everyone was pivoting. Everyone came together. The team worked so hard to make this all happen. You never know what's going to happen when you go virtual, and it really was a testament to you, the supporters, the donors. We wanted to bring this to you. It meant so much. Your work, your dedication, your donations, your gifts make the difference in so many lives. And you continue to help ensure that we're creating a gender equitable world for generations to come. You are doing that. You are making all of this work possible by your donations. And the impact that you made tonight really is awe-inspiring. Now, the silent auction, Fund the Future, will stay open. Keep in mind till tomorrow at 9 p.m. That's October 1st at 9 p.m. So please visit if you didn't get a chance to bid tonight, and share the link with friends and family. We would love to have this keep going and have those donations and gifts continue to come in. We're now at $30,000 for tonight, at $30,000. So we're making our way there. And the stories that are coming in about the women in your lives, the moms and grandmoms that have made a difference, thank you for sharing all of those. Keep those donations coming, will you? It really does mean the world to all of the women in Rhode Island, and to really create a gender equitable place to live and modeled for other areas in this country. This is something that Women's Fund of Rhode Island is doing today. So keep it up. Your impact is huge, and we can't thank you enough. Well, we have an opportunity to stay for one more song by the incredible Brooke Annibale. If you'd like to learn more about her music, certainly check out her website. But again, we can't thank you enough for being with us tonight. You're really making a difference in lives of women in Rhode Island. And so thank you so very much. And please enjoy another song from Brooke.
Thanks so much.
Oh, dear clarity, please come. Show me what has just begun. Follow the
so much.
All right. Thanks so much, Brooke, for that wonderful song. And thank you all for such an amazing job tonight and for everything that you have done. Thank you so, so very much. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe. And keep the fun, the future coming in. We're going to get to that dream goal. I just know it.
Thank you, Kat. Thank you so much.
Alex, you can stop the recording now and we will